You could join us. Now, the Volta Region Police Command has advised media personnel covering the referendum in the OT enclave to stay off the voting centres due to security concerns. Tension is still high in the Volta region, where there is strong opposition to the proposed OT region after police say they have uncovered a plot by anti-OT region campaigners to cause mayhem. Let's listen to GCOP Francis Doku, who is commander for the Volta Region Police.
I will appeal to the media people that they should assemble at the referendum headquarters, because the reports we are receiving are that the people are bent on going out to vote. But again, they are quick to say that they will not allow people who are not known to them to come into the area. And journalists, I may say, are people who are not known to the locals. So in their own interest and for their own safety, I will appeal to them that they must all of them must come to the off center.
All of us in the OTN.
Yes, because we cannot guarantee that they will be safe, especially when people have come out to tell us that if they see any stranger, somebody they don't know, coming to the police station, they might take the person on.
Now, we are branded in our various media houses t-shirts, and then also we have accreditations boldly displayed on us. Why wouldn't these people be able to identify us as media men, rather see us as strangers?
Well, the JCC has given enough education to the illiterate. But you and I know that it's not everyone that is enlightened enough. Even if they find you in your branded t-shirt, like what you wear in the Joy News t-shirt, they might think that you are an imposter. And so the security advice to them is that they must all converge at the press center, at the JOC, so that as and when the collated results come in, they can feed their media houses with the figures that they have.
DCOP Francis Doku further explained this directive to Mama V. Oswabwaji on the AM show.
But Mr. Doku, this is not the first time we're carrying out, well, obviously this is the first time we're doing something like this, but we've been reporting on elections, major elections in this country.
Well, I wish you were here to see the agitation on the ground.
So what is your challenge as police? Because at least you have security personnel positioned at every polling center, correct?
We have.
So what's the difficulty?
Like I'm saying, it is not possible for us to be at every corner of the enclave at the same time. Because as we patrol, it might happen that we move from one location to another. Before we could come back, there is a security problem behind. And that is what we want to avoid.
But what's the people's challenge with the reporters?
Well, I think the issue, you are not getting it clearly. They are saying that if they find somebody that they are not familiar with.
No, but isn't that total disorder? I mean, if we're all saying that in my area, if I find someone I'm not familiar with, then I'm going to pounce on the person.
As a total disorder. We cannot.
So how do we define it then, sir? Because what you're saying is the people are saying if they find strangers, people they cannot identify, people they are not familiar with in their areas, then they're going to beat them up?
We cannot say that it's a security challenge.
So, sir, help us to understand.
You see, as going forward, we review our security strategies, and this is where we are.
So how do the reporters do their work then?
And that is why we are saying that they should converge at the collation center.
And then who gives them the information?
The election officers are there to provide them with the figures.
At what intervals? Because we're reporting. This is like minute reports. We're touching base with our colleagues on the ground for them to tell us what's been happening. So how do you successfully achieve that when you are at a center and relying on EC officials who are on the ground working to give you those information?
Well, that is a collective decision of Rexec.
Now, Mauli Evuagbi is our correspondent monitoring the situation in the Buem constituency. He reports of heavy security presence with military and police vehicles patrolling the area. He joins us via phone with more. Mauli, have you been able to gather the reason for the military presence in the area?
Yes, according to the security agencies here, there have been a number of reported cases of persons who are seeking to disrupt the process. A lot of them on motorbikes, and so far there have been some arrests actually, and there have been a reported case in the at least 2 reported cases in the area of persons who would be coming to the area to disrupt the process, and hence the youth are also on the lookout for such people, and there's a possible, they were risking possible clashes between the youth of the area and these people that they say will be coming to the communities with motorbikes. And so that has been one of the major issues that has been raised. We've been warned as media people to come to the Regional Coalition Center where we can have full access to information. But I have with me the at the Coalition Center, DSP Meister Clay, and he's going to tell us briefly what the incidences, the issues have been with special regards to security so far. So walk us through what exactly have you been picking, and what's the security situation on the ground?
Yes, actually, at around 7 a.m., polls started smoothly. All ballot materials were moved to the polling stations, and polling started smoothly. Around 9:50, a report was received that 3 young men on a motorbike were moving from polling station to polling station doing observation. They were quickly apprehended as they were not accredited. They were sent to the Jasikan District Police, and after interrogation, it came out that they were just youth in the town who were also trying to provide a sort of security. So they were warned and asked to desist. So they have so far been released.
You told me of a situation at Akpafu Odomi.
Yes.
What exactly is
the military patrol in Akpafu Odomi spotted 3 young men on a motorbike, and they signaled them to stop. The 3 young men, however, attempted to ride away. In the process, one of them fell off the motorbike together with an item. He, however, managed to get back on the motorbike and he sped off. The soldiers picked the item, and it turned out to be a locally manufactured shotgun.
Right.
And this has been handed over to.
So that's Hubert Mauli Evuagbi there, speaking to police officials there in that part of the Oti enclave. We'll stay in that part of the country because the Krachira Nana Mpra Besemuna has described the ongoing process as a dream come true. According to him, the expectations of the people have always been to have a region of their own to bring development to the area. The Krachira spoke to Joy News.
Of course, obviously, it's a very momentous day for us. This is a day that will make or break us. But I'm very confident that with the kind of education and the enthusiasm that we have attached to this project, we shall turn out in our numbers. As you can see, they have started. Look at the old ladies and so on who are already in line. So, and I know what we are seeing here is the same thing that is happening all over the OT enclave.
Any message for the people?
Yes, my message for the people is that they should stand firm and come out still. They should come out because we have the constitutional requirement to fulfill. That is 50%. That is my greatest worry. So everybody should come out, yes, so that we can make that trash black. As for the years, I know we are getting 99.9%. So they should come out so that we make the 50. That is my prayer to them, my call to them. All the chiefs, I know the role you have played. You've played just as an active role as I have played from the reports we have. But don't rest because you think they will go. Go around like I'm going and make sure that at every polling station, the people come out to vote. So that by the close of the day, we have our 50% and we have our 99%.
Okay, so Nana, so you think by giving you a region or dividing the region into OT region will bring development to these parts of the world instead of, you know, the government developing this region?
Good. I am sure that we belong to Volta region. Well, let me make it clear. I'm not speaking as if in Volta region we have everything. So when I refer to the South, I'm not saying that they have everything and we don't have anything. Yes. All I'm saying is that the little that has been brought to Volta region has not been equitably distributed. And in the first place, we are cheating ourselves by not taking advantage of this system. Because if everybody goes, okay, if everybody is able to make the mark and get their region, mind you, we are going to be the only losers, and we will go back to that old system, which has not worked for us since 1961. If we had been satisfied, you have seen our road. Is it the same in Pandu? Is it the same in Sobi? Is it the same in Amfuega? Is it the same in Bako? But even this skewed. Go to Anglamba. Yes. Go.
We now go back to Hubert Maoli-Yevuagbi, who is currently reporting from the OT Enclave. Now, Hubert, where are you now? How many people are expected to vote at the center?
OT Enclave, there are over 355,000 people who are expected to cast their ballots today across the entire enclave. Earlier, I've been to the Dambai East constituency, then to Bohem, to Biakoye, and now at Bohem.
So how is voter turnout in all of these places you have visited?
I must say that earlier in the morning, voter turnout in some of the areas we visited were low because some of them are fishing communities. People have to go to fishing and some others to the farm. But I must also say specifically that the chiefs of most of the areas we visited have taken upon themselves to go around each of the community to ensure that people come out of their homes and to participate in the referendum. Specifically at Dambai, where the Nifahini of the Twenke area was the first to cast his ballot at the La Paz polling station. And immediately after casting his ballot, he moved to all the communities. He's moving to from community to community to pull people out of their homes to vote in the referendum.
Now, Hubert, as Dambai, you spoke to the Nifahini of Twenke, as you mentioned earlier, Nana Kweku Beyeno, the second. What did he say?
Well, for him, 100% vote turnout is what they are looking for, and he's so confident that, judging from the intensity of the campaign they have carried out, they should be able to realize that. And they are leaving no stone unturned. They want to ensure that the people come out of their homes to vote. And one of the ways to do it is to mobilize themselves as chiefs, not, no less persons than chiefs themselves, moving to the communities to ensure that the people move out of their homes and to vote. And he's so hopeful and so confident that when this is done, by 5 p.m., when polling ends, they should be able to realize there are more than 50%, out of which they should guarantee some 80% of the voting population endorsing the OT region creation.
Thank you very much, Hubert Maoli-Yevuagbi. And he joined us from the OT Enclave. We'll move next to the Western North Enclave, which is part of the Western region. 9 districts in total, 9 constituencies as well, taking part in today's election and in today's referendum, I should say. But just a quick wrap of what we've heard from Hubert in the OT Enclave. 355,000 persons are expected to turn out. We need 50% of these people to turn out. out of the total population of 355,000. So that will be a number of over 125,000 expected from the 175,000, pardon me, expected from these districts that you see on your screen now, the Biakuya districts, which he has visited, the Jasekan district, where Fred Kwame Asari is reporting from, KJB, Karachi East Municipality, and Karachi West and Karachi Nchumuru, where we had Ivy reports from earlier. So we will be keeping you up to date on what is happening in the OT Enclave. Let's go now to the Western North region and, well, Western North Enclave and find out from our correspondents in Athalia Kwanza and Obrimpong Yao Ampofo on how voting is currently ongoing. First, here's Obrimpong with some information on the petition to split the Western region. We will be getting that information shortly, but let's speak to him now. Obrimpong, in the first place, how has it been, how has the atmosphere been in the northern parts of the Western region?
Based on the number of polling stations that we visited, we can say that the people are actually out there in their numbers trying to cast their ballot to, as it were, vote yes. I'm saying vote yes because that is the picture that has been painted here. When you speak to people who are in queues, they will tell you straightforward, we are going in for a yes. When you meet any of the authorities they straight away tell you we are going in for a yes. So based on the numbers that we've seen from a couple of police stations we've visited inside Seshuyo, so the area which is tipped to be the regional capital in the event today's poll go in favor of yes. That is the picture. When you go outside it too, that is the picture. So the people here are seriously in for the yes. The atmosphere is very cloudy because of the Hamatan season, but people are defying that to be in queues to cast their ballot. That is the situation here, Danny.
You have been speaking to the lead petitioner for the creation of the new region. How does he feel about today's event?
Speaking to him, you could see the excitement on his face and the joy. In his view, he has been yearning for this day. And he tells Joy News that based on the work that they've done so far, they are confident that they've put in the logistics, the education the people also need to get out in their numbers, and all other things that they need to have the yes voted for. They have done that. Again, he cited reasons why he believes that the Western region, as we have it today, should be split into two. He says the distance between the north and south is one factor, and then the area of accessibility to health. He cited that people in the Western North do not, as it were, access the regional capital, which is down south, Sekendi Takoradi. He says whenever they are sick and they are referred, they go to Kumasi or Komfanoche, which is, in their view, the nearest compared to the Efiam Kwanta as we have it down south. Again, he cites another reason that in terms of development, government, when it is allocating the resources to the regions, will be forced to also, as it were, send some of the funds for development to the regions, because it is a constitutional order for the president to share the national cake equitably among the regions. And so in that area of development, there's going to be that advantage. Right. He also cites that he believes that there will be more people who will be having jobs to do, because when there is a new regional hospital, there's a new regional administration, people will be employed, construction works in that direction. Apart from that, there will be new coordinating directors, security officers, drivers, and all that. So it is also creating jobs for the people. And so for them, it's a yes and nothing more.
Now, you have also been speaking to the former Western Region Minister, Paul Evans Edu, served under John Mahama, and the current Regional Minister, Dr. Kwekwe Frie, who have both been campaigning yes amongst the voters. Tell us more about that.
That's very interesting. In fact, this morning, we were all left in awe to see that, or to hear on radio, that the former Regional Minister, Paul Evans Edu, was sitting in a studio with the present minister, Dr. Kwekwe Frie, all campaigning unequivocally for the creation of the Western North. That is, voting yes. We were all surprised, because these are two people who are politically divided. And so if Nanado has pledged to split the region, one would have thought that it should have been the work of the NPP and nobody else. But this man Paul Evans Edu himself leading the crusade to get the people to go out there to vote in their numbers. He told us that he left wherever he was, far away, Sekendi, Takrade, to come here, to come and then join forces with the sitting minister to go on a campaign. So they move from community to community and in some of the major towns to go there to go and get the people to vote. In their view, people have the perception that it could be politically motivated if Nanadu says he's going to split the region. And so when people hear that both of them are on the same radio channel saying or singing the same song for the creation of the Western North, people's perception about politicization of this will be taken away. And so we're all surprised. That's what he's been doing. They are all on board.
Right.
And again, in 2016, during his last independence speech that he gave, I'm talking about the former regional minister, he started the call that after 60 years, in his view, he thinks it is now time for people to demand for the creation of the Western North.
Right, Swansea. Orin Paul, thank you very much for that report. The Orin Paul reported there from the northern enclave of the Western region. We will be taking you to Yendi during the bulletin, but this is News Today. Stay with us. Still live on Joy News Today. Thanks for staying with us. Now, women are a key part of the Dagbon traditional setup, and at the funeral of the late Yana Muhammadu Abdullahi IV, several of them from the rival Abudu and Andani gates have come together, putting up their best culinary skills to cook food for the thousands expected at today's ceremony. Joy News' Justice Bedu, who is covering that funeral for us, has been spending time with them and has sent us this report.
All hands on deck. Women, one of the key pillars of the modern day Dagbon society, doing one of the many things they do best, cooking ahead of what should be a big day.
Nearly every hand here in Yendi today is very, very busy ahead of the big day. Just behind me are the women who are busy at work, cooking many traditional Dagbon foods ranging from tuozafi to many other foods, awaiting for over 40,000 people estimated to be here for this very, very historic funeral.
Ahugro baya yabe fadianu no koho ofiedia ewo ho ye diduanu no koho ye tuonzafi ye fufuo ye shinkafa no wache ye jollof ye apesi duani bia ope wa ha obanya.
It's been a long time coming, and people here have been waiting for this funeral for decades. This is the family home of the late Yana, where his wives lived. And it is from here that some of the thousands who would be trooping in for his funeral would be fed.
Nyame abie kwan bibia wo ne mre enti ene ya fa ni se nyame mre ne mre pa ene mre na so se ye be ye yie ni ye ni age ye da nyame asi.
We are trying to close up the Abudus and Andani. You find a house that is belonging to Andani, but you find Abudu inside the house, the visitor inside living in the house. I mean, the women living there, cooking, doing everything there together. If you go to cutting, which is the key, a key to the funeral, it's full of women. So women have a key role to play when it's time for Yana funeral.
There's variety of food being cooked here today, from shinkamfa, wache, and even jollof rice. This funeral may be a solemn moment for many people in this town, but it sure promises to also be a good time to make merry, and there would be plenty of food to go with the party. Justice Bedu, Joy News, Yendi.
Let's get more from Justice, who joins us via telephone. Justice, take us through the running order of activities for today.
So, Daniel, the Colon who is the chief warrior of Dagbon State, Major Suleimana, has just made his way into the Bewana Palace, and the Bolin Lana, who is the regent, has just also been sitting in state, still receiving the different stat chiefs from across the Dagbon area who are coming in and paying homage as part of the preparatory stages of the funeral itself, which is going to kick in later this afternoon. From here, he is going to get up from state and then get back into the palace itself. After which he is expected to come out and then mount a horse and then go around the palace as part of the traditional activities that is marking the funeral here, Daniel. But as I speak to you, there are thousands of people who are still trooping into the Bewana Palace, and if you can hear from the background, the firing of musketry, drumming and dancing of people, women, children, men and women are all over trooping in here, and it's obvious from the faces. People are excited at this process. The few people that I've been speaking to have been telling me about the relief that they feel coming up today. It's been a long time coming, this process. Some of them have been waiting for this funeral to happen for well over 30 years. And so they are expressing hope that with this happening today, and hopefully with the funeral of Yana and Danny, which is expected to happen in the coming week, and also to be crowned with the installation of a substantive Yana for the Dagbon State. They hope that peace will finally come back to this once bustling city of the Yendi, and indeed the entire Dagbon Kingdom. And so, Daniel, this is what is happening now, and my understanding is that more and more people are going to making their way here in terms of chief, and then they are subject. Daniel.
Thank you very much, Justice, for that detailed report. We'll be coming back to you during the day for more updates on activities at the Bewanas Palace in Dagbon. Now, moving from there, if there's one thing the Kwame Nkrumah interchange is popular for, it's mind-draining traffic. Commercial drivers parked on the shoulders of the road cause major traffic congestion as the interchange. Joy News' Selinam Ampo reports that drivers care less about road traffic regulations. Rather, they are obsessed with picking up passengers.
The Kwame Nkrumah interchange, popularly known as Accra Dubai, is one of the busiest business centers in the capital. Construction of the interchange was meant to ease traffic flow. However, it is almost always congested with traffic, even on holidays. The drivers often park on the fringes of the road to pick up passengers while blocking other vehicles from driving through.
More they say we shouldn't load here, but there's no any allocated station there we should park and load. There's no any allocated station here for we drivers and Taifa. So this is the right place for us to stand. But when you come and start, they'll come and arrest you. Even though we are loading at the bus stop, but still they'll come and arrest you. When they arrest you, the demand is 50 Ghana, 30 Ghana, sometimes 100 Ghana.
I think we the drivers used to park on bus stop and pick passengers on bus stop. So I don't think it's against the rules and regulation in driving.
Is this a bus stop?
Yes, a bus stop.
Where's the indication that it's a bus stop?
Yeah, actually, they don't indicate it, but it's a bus stop.
Samson, a trotro driver, tells me, although they are often arrested by the police, they cannot stop parking on the street because that is where they find passengers.
Nobody knows any bus stop signboard area, but Mostly, no passengers.
There's no clear bus stop. This is where all the passengers get their vehicles. For us drivers, we are just doing our jobs. Wherever the passengers are, that's where we would park our vehicles.
It
appears the commercial drivers are the major cause of the exhaustive traffic at the Kwame Nkrumah interchange, and authorities seem to be doing little to ensure discipline. Selinam Ample's report for Joy News.
Now, the age-old sight of children running around with a fan made from coconut or palm leaves seems to have faded out. Perhaps it's because today's children, especially in the cities, don't fancy going to the bush. With plastic bottles providing the most available alternative, how are they exploring the material to make it a formidable play tool? Love FM's Kwesi Deborah has been finding out in the following report.
The Greek scientist Archimedes figured out how to put a long spiral screw inside a cylinder to lift water, what is now known as Archimedes screw. And this has tremendous industrial applications, from the combine harvester to irrigation systems. Italian Renaissance polymath Leonardo da Vinci sketched an upward-facing screw propeller on his design for a helicopter he never built. In 1796, American inventor John Fitch made the first basic propeller shaped like a screw for a steamboat. Englishman Francis P.T. Smith and Swedish-American John Ericsson in 1836 independently developed modern-style propellers with blades for ships. For these children at Nkerkum in the Ashanti region, those are none of their business. All they want is to play. They need a system which can be cheaply powered, simply running against wind. Plastic bottles come handy to make a fun. Edem Adeje is a final year physics student of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology.
Okay, since they are running towards the wind, the movement of the wind across the blade is creating a difference in pressure. This difference in pressure is also creating a force. That force is called the lift. This lift is what is lifting each blade up and then causing the whole fan to end.
With a sharp razor blade, they make a 4-short blade fan. So why do they cut the blades shorter instead of making it long? The short blades make it stable, they say. And is that true?
That also works on the area that each blade covers. So for a shorter blade, it covers a shorter area, but it's only important to use a shorter blade for strength. So that shorter blade is also giving the fan strength. Now when you are using a longer blade and you are running towards the wind, it can bend the blade, which will cause the fan not to turn at all.
Interestingly, as they run, the fan, which turns at a fast speed, appears to slow down.
It's just an optical illusion in the sense that when something is moving higher than the rate of 30 frames per second, to the human eye, the thing is not moving at all, it's just stable. And even in some cases, when things are moving higher than 60 frames per second, the thing actually disappears.
Well, I was taking the footage at 30 frames per second. Too fast for my camera. Reporting for Joy News, Kwesi Deborah.
Bet you didn't know child's play can have that much grounding in basic physics. We'll go back to Yendi, where Justice Bedu is standing by with the Yana's funeral. Justice, what more can you report? Right, so Justice is currently standing by in Yendi, where the funeral of the Yana Muhammadu Abdullahi IV is currently taking place. Justice, What's the latest at that funeral?
Because I can't hear him. I said it before.
Right, so apologies for that. We're having a few technical challenges. Daryl will bring us the latest in business. We'll take you back to Yendi during the day. Stay. So let's take you now to Yendi. You're still live on Joy News today. Let's take you back to Yendi, where Justice Beidou is standing by live from the funeral of the late Yana Muhammadu Abdullahi IV. Justice, if you can hear me, what's the latest?
I will make a black hole. I will make a black hole.
Still live on Joy News today. So those are proceedings currently at Yendi in Dagbon at the moment, where the late Yana Muhammadu Abdullahi, his funeral is ongoing. We'll be back shortly. This is still Joy News today.